Chances are you found yourself on this tutorial series because you've heard about Dynamo in one way or another. With that, you probably have your own idea of what Dynamo is or can be. In this lesson, we plan on covering a few different ways that Dynamo can be looked at. Yeah, it's a software, but it's so much more than that. We're also going to cover some of the resources available to you along your Dynamo journey. So based on the first lesson, you will start to hear me say your Dynamo journey quite a bit. Everyone has their own journey. Mine started out in 2013 when I opened Dynamo. It turned red, all sorts of errors happened, and it scared me and I closed it. From there, I started using it at AU 2014 and publishing packages and all sorts of different things. Along with that, you will have your own version of that story, and that's always a really exciting thing to share with people. So with that in mind, let's get right into the rest of this lesson. So as I mentioned, Dynamo is a community. Along with that comes the entire Dynamo forum and Dynamo website. There are really great ways to learn some of the basics of Dynamo, some of the default interactions. There's also great places to download sample files, look at definitions of files, and things like that. That's what I'm scrolling through right now. And as you progress in your Dynamo journey, you can even find resources for developing it, which is really cool. Dynamo is open source, so that means that you can view the source code or actively contribute to it. I've been using Dynamo for around 8 years now, and I recently got my first contribution in to the source code. So pretty cool, and as someone who started out afraid of it, it's pretty neat to be able to get to that point of my journey as well. Within the Dynamo website, there's also the forum, which I mentioned. The forum is full of users who are learning just like you, encountered some of the same issues or problems that you have as well, so you can always go there and ask questions or even go help people. I feel I learned the most when I was learning Dynamo at the beginning by helping people. So you can go on there, search the forums. I encourage you to go introduce yourself even, just to say hello to everyone on the forums and start to interact with this whole community. If you're stuck on something, chances are someone else has been stuck on it as well. So it's a really great resource throughout all of your Dynamo journey and as you progress. And if you find yourself helping people more than asking questions or vice versa, that's fine too. Everyone's welcome into the forum. I did mention that Dynamo is open source. So on GitHub, which is another community, you can view all the source code. But what's really great is you can actually start interacting with people on here as well. And GitHub's really cool if you work in an open source way because people can start to see what you're building. All the custom packages I build are all open source, so all the code's out in the open for people to see. What's really great about that, and I like a quote from Adam Savage for this from Mythbusters, is no one knows what you can do unless you talk about it. Having open source code or sharing what you're doing in Dynamo is a really great way to tell people what you're doing and just share. But it also helps you build that portfolio in a way to show people what you're doing. So I highly encourage you to do that as well. This one's a bit of a shorter lesson because we're just defining some of the different considerations for Dynamo. So with that in mind, we should have a little QR code and website pop up here on the screen now. All this is a way to share that you're starting this journey with this course. If you want to do this, you can. If not, it's fine. It's fully optional. I did this when I started learning Dynamo. So I mentioned I started learning it in AU 2014, which is Autodesk University, an annual conference. Every class I was in, I took all Dynamo classes. I was tweeting, oh, I'm in this person's class and I'm starting to learn about this. And it was just really exciting. In addition to that, a lot of the Dynamo package authors are active on Twitter because that's where they share updates of the packages. So I highly encourage you to get involved in that way. I didn't even have Twitter until I started getting involved in all of this stuff. So it's just kind of one of those things. I post updates on there all the time. I post things I'm building. So it's just a really fun place to interact with people as well. And a lot of times when you tie it back to like a forum post, it's really great. This QR code or site will actually pre-cook a tweet for you if you have an account, if you wanted to share it. If you do, tag me and then we can interact in that way too. That's it for this lesson. Pretty short one because we're just introducing what Dynamo is. You probably have ideas of what it already is. I encourage you to comment those. And other than that, I look forward to you joining me on the rest of this course and we'll see you in the rest of the lessons.